Hello, friend, and welcome back to the series nobody asked for on YouTube. It's 1987 MS-DOS Jeopardy, and I hope you're having a great day. We're going to have some fun here. I'm going to record a few episodes of this here on the Scotty Euclid channel, and we start with one returning champion, and that's Scotty Euclid. I think I'm a 9-time champion with $149,700 in virtual winnings, and we've got Keith. And we've got Jody rounding out the panel. Contestants, get ready to play Jeopardy! And before we get started with Jeopardy, there was a comment on one of the earlier Jeopardy videos that I did on the channel that was showed a little frustration with the fact that everyone kept buzzing in right away, and me in particular. I kept buzzing in as soon as the clue was revealed. I'm afraid that in this version, the share data version of Jeopardy, what happens is as soon as the clue is revealed, anybody can buzz in, including the computer. And if I don't buzz in right away, the computer very likely will buzz in right away. So I really have to speed read the clues to see if I can answer them and see what happens. So, yeah, I'm sorry it's like this. Now, later versions of Jeopardy give you that buffer to actually read the clue before anyone's allowed to buzz in. So it will get better as we progress through later and later versions of Jeopardy. But unfortunately, in this one, I got to buzz in right away. I'm sorry for that. It is kind of frustrating to briefly see the clue, and then all of a sudden the clue disappears. You have to wait a few seconds for it to come back on screen. So I'm sorry for that. That's just the nature of the game. And but I appreciate the comment, and I thank you for doing that. Anyway, 6 categories in the Jeopardy round: art and artists, U.S. coins, exotic cities, television, automobiles, and lost and found. And do not forget that this game was made in 1987. So most of these television clues are going to be close to 40 years old. I get to start. I'm going to choose U.S. coins for 100. And the answer is coins bearing mint coding D were made in this city. What is Denver? It's kind of a trick question because they actually used that in the early 1800s for gold coins out of Georgia. Delaney? I don't know. But Denver's the answer they want for the $100 clue. Here we go. For $200 in 1909, Lincoln replaced him on the face of the penny. In 1909, Lincoln replaced him on the face of the penny. Okay. What is a Native American? Yeah. Or an Indian. They're often referred to as Indian head pennies. It threw me off because I thought maybe the Native American had a name, but no, I think it's just a Native American. Dimes bearing this president's, sorry friends, picture were issued 1 year after his death. Who was Franklin D. Roosevelt? Yeah. And he's been on the dime, of course, ever since. U.S. coins for 400. These words first appeared on coins in 1864, and a 1955 law required them. What is "In God We Trust"? Yeah. The 1955 law came out of the Red Scare. Communism tends to not put a lot of weight in religion, and so the United States, with a large Christian contingency, was like, we got to put this on the coins. They've been there ever since. U.S. coins for 5. Silver coins were last minted in the U.S. in this year. What is 1964? No. Interesting. Silver coins were last minted in the United States in this year. Are they thinking maybe those Kennedy $50 that they minted? Now, didn't I just put 1964? Fine. Jody, the game's a little buggy. It's okay. $300. Art and artist. Grant Wood's portrait of a farm family. It actually represents a farmer and his daughter. A father and his daughter. What is American Gothic? Having lived in eastern Iowa for a couple of years in my life, yes, that's required knowledge. Let's try television for 100. This cable station is a video jukebox. Well, not anymore, it's not. What is MTV? Music television. Oh, I'm one of those old grumpy people who say, they don't play music on MTV anymore. Television for 3. Series where Broderick Crawford snapped 10-4 as he signed off. That was Highway Patrol. We all remember the show Highway Patrol. Keith, it's back to you. Automobiles for 100. The answer is source of power of the now classic Stanley automobile. What is steam? Yeah, Stanley Steamer. It's a steam-powered car. All right, let's go back to television for 2. Weekend Update is the satirical news program, or news feature of this program. What is Saturday Night Live? There you go. It's hard to type. The microphone cable is getting in the way of the keyboard, but enough of that. Television for 4. The only sport covered weekly during its season by all 3 networks. Ooh. Yeah. Now, by the way, all 3 networks, they're referring to the classic 3, NBC, ABC, and CBS. What is the NFL? No, they wanted football, huh? I think they want the NFL, because even back then in the 1980s, CBS aired football, NBC aired football, and then ABC had Monday Night Football. Nobody gets to claim the $400 for this one. It should be American football. Yeah, they wanted to see that, not NFL. Okay. Television for 5. CBS canceled this pair in a 1969 censorship dispute. Who are the Smothers Brothers? And their famous Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. All right. Yeah, they were very anti-war, and this was during the Vietnam War era, and CBS was a little, wasn't a fan. Lost and Found, please, for 100. Ray Milland's cinematic alcoholic bender. Ray Milland or Milland's cinematic alcoholic bender. What is The Lost Weekend? I see. Okay. Jody with the $100. Remember, there's one daily double in this game or in this round, but only I get to claim it because it's a quirk of the game. Type of auto engine or a tomato cocktail. What is a V8? A V8 engine or the V8 tomato beverage? Let's go back to Lost and Found for 2. Another word for an orphan left, for example, on a doorstep. A foundling. What a depressing clue. Okay, Lost and Found for 300. Atlantis in the Atlantic, or Mu in the Pacific. What is the Lost City? I'm going to say city. No. Atlantis is the underwater, the lost underwater city in the Atlantic Ocean. What is the lost continent is what they wanted. Okay. I suppose it's a little bigger than a city. We go back to Keith. Exotic cities. For the big 500, and the answer is town in central Mali. Its name has come to mean any faraway place. I know it. What is Timbuktu? Jody with the big get at $500. Jody's turn. Lost and Found. For $400, and the answer is appropriate name of Canadian province discovered in 1497. What is Newfoundland? What is Newfoundland? Guess you have to have lost or found in these. Lost and Found for 500. Oh, and it's the big daily double. Oh, I don't feel confident here. Let's just do 500 bucks. 10 groups of Israelites taken captive in 722 BC. What are the lost, maybe tribes? What are the lost tribes? Yeah, there you go. There we go. $2,000 for Scotty Euclid. We keep going now. 3 categories in play. Let's try automobiles for 3. Designed for military use. Brinks was first to use them commercially. What are armored trucks? Armored cars, armored vans. Very strict judge today. We need to give the judge a name. Yeah, they wanted armored car. We have to give the judge a silly name. Put something in the comments. What's a snarky name we can give the virtual judge of this game? Art and artist for 4. Vatican sculptor and painter Buonarroti is better known by this first name, who is Michelangelo. Buonarroti. Lord knows if I said that right. Keith now is 700. Jody was 700. Scotty 1,700. We go back to art and artists for the big 500. Spanish Civil War massacre is the subject of this Picasso masterpiece recently returned to Spain. What is Guernica? The famous Picasso painting Guernica. Automobiles for 4. The taxi manufacturer since 1921. This company tried out the passenger car, the Superba. That's Checker Cab Company. All right, Keith, 500 for automobiles. The answer is models of Ford, Chrysler, and Cadillac are named for cities in this European country. Spain. It's probably the Seville and the Seville, I don't know, El Dorado maybe. For 100 bucks, art and artists. Spanish surrealist, known for his limp watches, who is Salvador Dali. Limp watches. We'll finish out art for 2. The Moulin Rouge was featured in the works of this diminutive artist, who was Toulouse-Lautrec. All right, exotic cities now. What do you like, Keith? $300. The answer is easternmost major city in South America. The girl from Ipanema calls it home. Easternmost major city in South America. Girl from is it Ipanema? Easternmost major city in South America. I want to say Rio, but girl from Ipanema. We'll try Rio. Rio de Janeiro. Nope, it's not Rio. Unless I spelled Janeiro wrong. Easternmost major city in South America. The girl from Ipanema calls it home. Rio de Janeiro. I mixed up the E and the I, apparently. All right, Keith. I think Keith paid off the judge. All right, exotic cities for $400. Kipling said the flying fishes play on the road to this Burmese city. Can I even name a city in Burma? It is Mandalay. 2 clues left. Keith, for $100. Site of the Churchill-Roosevelt 1943 conference and the Bogart-Bergman 1942 tryst. What is Casablanca? And exotic cities for 2. Ooh, City of 1001 Nights. It's the capital of Iraq. What is Baghdad? Yeah, capital of Iraq. I don't think this game was aware of it at the time, but Baghdad would, be in some rough shape shortly after this game was published. That's all for the clues. We're going to do Double Jeopardy in a moment. One of the computer players is going to pick first. But first, I'm going to take a breather, and we'll be back in a moment. All right, here we go. The Double Jeopardy round. 6 new categories, 2 daily doubles. Again, only I'm the one who can play the daily doubles because of the way the game is programmed. Here we go. The categories are the solar system, college, racing, state flags, comedians, and cats and dogs. We go to college for 1,000. And I'll read the clue in a moment. This Silver Service Academy is the site of the U.S. Silver Bullion Depository. What is West Point? Yeah, they mint coins there. Kind of circle back to that U.S. coins category. College for 200. Excuse me. College for 2. Home of the Hasty Pudding Club. I believe that's Harvard. That's right. College for 400. The answer is Jesuit-run colleges with this name are found in Chicago, New Orleans, and Los Angeles. What is Loyola? Jesuit is a Catholic sect, and they run those colleges. College for 6. Type of degree designated... Oh, I buzzed in when I probably shouldn't have. Type of degree designated by 3 velvet bars on an academic gown sleeve. I'm going to guess that that is a PhD. You are correct. Doctorate. College for 8. Crooner, who's probably the most famous alumnus of Spokane's Gonzaga University in Washington State, Bing Crosby. Gonzaga, of course, has gone on to become a very famous basketball school in the western U.S. Keith's going with state flags for 400. The answer is George Washington's picture adorns the flag of this state. What is Washington? Yeah, don't overthink it. Kind of one of those stupid answers, huh, that you sometimes see on the regular show. State flags for 200. Its flag is red, white, and blue and features a lone star. What is Texas? The Lone Star State. We go to comedians now for $800, and the answer is this wild-haired comedian's trial run at the Purple Onion ran 89 weeks. Who is Phyllis Diller? Yes, the very famous Phyllis Diller. She was a comedian for an awful long time, too. Especially in a field where there weren't a lot of female comedians, so she did wonderful. Famous raceway called the Brickyard. The Brickyard is what is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway? There you go. The Brickyard. Let's go back to state flags for 6. Its flag shows a grizzly bear and calls it the state a republic. What is California? All right. State flags for 8. Either of 2 state flags bearing the Confederate stars and bars. This, of course, as was 40 years ago. Bearing the Confederate stars and bars. Do I dare just go with the obvious answers? What is Alabama? No. Sorry, Alabama. Mississippi, I think, had, and South Carolina, I think, did for a while. They got rid of theirs a few years ago. Let's see what they say. What is Georgia or Mississippi? Okay. To Alabama's defense, though, you're sandwiched right between those two states. It would be easy to mistake them for still having that on their flag back in 1987. Racing for 4. It's a horse race with hurdles. What is a steeplechase? They have the hurdles and then the little ponds or whatever they have to jump over. State flags for 1,000. This state's flag depicts the Big Dipper and the North Star. What is Alaska? That's right. We're up to $6,300. Jody, 3,000. Keith, 2,400. And we're going to go next to the solar system for 200. It's the planet named for Cupid's mother. What is Venus? Makes sense? I don't know why it makes sense. It just... solar system for 4. It's the Daily Double. I don't know. I feel pretty good about the spacey questions. Let's do 2,500 bucks. While Mercury's is over 2,100 hours, Jupiter's lasts less than 10. What is a day? Yeah. 2,100 hours. Oh, goodness. Hard to get sleep there. Solar system. And how fast is that for Jupiter? My goodness, that's really spinning. $600, please. Dark patches on the sun's surface, which affect magnetism, radio, and television. What are sunspots? 2 words? Yeah. Or 1 word? Sunspots. The solar system for $800. The god for whom this planet is named went mad and ate his children. Oh, Saturn. Went mad and ate his children. Okay. Racing for $600. Car acceleration contest. Its name makes it sound slow. It was a drag race. All right. Solar system for $1,000. The uppermost layer of the solar atmosphere, it took me a minute, was the corona. All right, Keith, you're up to 4,200 bucks. Make the next selection. Racing for 800. The answer is Barbara Jo Rubin and Robin Smith were among the first females in this profession. Oh, I know this. This came up in an earlier game, I think. It was racing? I think it was what in this profession. What are jockeys? Yeah, horse racing jockeys. Yeah, I think that Robin Smith came up in an earlier game. Speaking of which, don't forget to check out the channel. We've played 9 of these already. Let's do racing for 1,000. The Hambletonian is this sport's most prestigious race. The Hambletonian. Harness racing. I don't see that too often on TV these days. Comedians, please, for 200. Of his golf play, he said, I've spent as much time... I'm sorry, I had to buzz in during the clue. Of his golf play, he said, I've spent almost as much time in sand as a camel. That sounds like something Bob Hope would say. Hey, I gotta tell you. Hey, I've spent more time in the sand than a camel. Great Bob Hope. Terrible impression, but a good comedian. $400, please. This wild and crazy guy once led his audience to a snack bar and ordered 300 hamburgers. Who is Steve Martin, the great Steve Martin? Boy, he's been doing comedy for close to 50 years now. Comedians for 6. The price tag hanging from her hat reads $1.98. Minnie Pearl. I think she's an older comedian. Comedians for $1,000, please. Audience of Saturday Night Live voted to never let him back on the show again. Never let him back on the show. And that was the legendary Andy Kaufman. Here I come to save the day. That guy, Andy Kaufman. Cats and dogs for $200. In the proverb, it killed the cat. What is curiosity? Curiosity. Okay, they gave me credit for spelling it wrong. That's good. Cats and dogs for $4. 1928, a German Shepherd became the first of these canine guides. A seeing eye dog. Okay. I was thinking like one of those guides on like you see in the Alps, but I think that's a different breed. You know, they rescue from avalanches or whatever. 600, cat breed famous for sapphire-colored eyes, which are often crossed. What are Siamese cats? All right, Keith, up to $4,000. 800, the answer is Russian scientist famous for psychological experiments with dogs. Who was Pavlov? Oh, I had to do the whole name, huh? I don't know his first name. It's a Pavlovian response. Pavlov's dogs. Ivan Pavlov. The judge got me again. Keith, give me the last clue. Cats and dogs for 1,000. What the fog comes in on, according to a Carl Sandburg poem. Little cat feet. Keith and Jody with $4,000, but Scotty's got $12,000. We're going to play Final Jeopardy. A reminder that the computer does not actually play Final Jeopardy. It's another weird quirk of this game, so I'm the only one who can wager and play this out. The category will be famous quotes, and remember my computer competitors at $4,000 apiece. I don't feel terribly confident about this one, so let's just do $3,000. All right, for $3,000, here comes the clue. He called our system government of the people, by the people, for the people. He called our government system government of the people, by the people, for the people. This feels like a Thomas Jefferson type quote. So I'm going to say Thomas Jefferson, but it's a founding father. Jefferson. That is not correct. It was not Thomas Jefferson. It was... it was not a founding father. Abraham Lincoln was the one who said that, not Thomas Jefferson. Well, you can't win them all. $9,000, though, it is a win, and I'm a 10-day champion now with $158,700 in virtual money. Friends, thanks for joining us in this game of 1987 MS-DOS Jeopardy. We hope to see you again very soon. And until our paths cross again, Scott Euclid saying bye-bye.